Your Brassica crop in the UK has 3 main pests: pigeons, slugs, and caterpillars. Here, I'll explain how to conquer cabbage white caterpillars with netting or by encouraging some alien-like friends, but more on that later. The cabbage white caterpillars, known outside of Europe as the imported cabbage worm, are the offspring of 2 separate but related butterflies: the small white butterfly and the large white butterfly. Cabbage white caterpillars quickly munch their way through your Brassica crops: cabbages, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, turnips, radish and kale, and related flowers like nasturtium and stocks. So, how do you correctly identify cabbage white caterpillars? The small white butterfly lays single eggs that are tiny, white or yellow. These eggs hatch into small, well-camouflaged, mostly green caterpillars. Whereas the large white butterfly lays eggs in groups, up to 100 at a time. The large white caterpillars are larger, up to 4.5 centimetres or 1.5 inches. They are black, yellow, and hairy. Both butterflies have a rapid life cycle, from egg, caterpillar, chrysalis, to butterfly, in as little as 7 weeks. But don't confuse these colourful critters with the box tree caterpillar, which only lives on box plants. So, how do you control and stop cabbage white butterflies and prevent them munching your crops? Don't try to use chemical controls for cabbage white caterpillars. Chemical controls will harm other insects, like that alien-like friend I mentioned earlier. These natural predators, such as the parasitoid wasp, Catesia glomerata, don't sting humans. Instead, the parasitic wasp larvae just love to eat cabbage white caterpillars. You may spot the yellow cocoons or even the old, shriveled remains of an infested caterpillar. But, much like a medieval battle, your top task is to keep caterpillar invaders away from your cabbage family castle. And the easiest way to keep caterpillars and butterflies away is to use mesh or netting. But make sure it's the right size. Large mesh or chicken wire keeps out pigeons, but won't stop cabbage white butterflies. So, if your little finger fits through, the mesh is too big. Like cats, butterflies can wiggle through small gaps. To block the butterflies and prevent the subsequent caterpillars, use netting with holes no larger than 7 millimeters, or 1/4 inch. You can also buy insect-proof mesh, which has even tinier pinhead holes of less than 1 millimeter. This very fine mesh will stop almost all insects from passing through. When netting brassicas, don't drape the netting directly on the plants, as butterflies can lay eggs on leaves touching the mesh. Keep the netting taut so birds don't get tangled. Put the nets up in the spring and leave them on through autumn, as cabbage white butterflies have a long egg-laying season. But what if your nets fail, or you put them up too late in the year? Don't worry, it's not too tricky to pick off any eggs or caterpillars you spot. Regularly look for cabbage white caterpillars underneath the leaves, and particularly on either side of the leaf veins. Wearing gloves, knock the caterpillars persuasively into a container. As in my earlier medieval battlefield analogy, banish those caterpillars to live on some sacrificial nasturtiums, like you can see here. These banished cabbage white caterpillars will provide food for local birds and parasitoid wasps, and it means you don't have to feel guilty about squashing caterpillars. Wishing you healthy plants and happy gardening.